And hello, everybody. Welcome. This is week number 7. Week number 7 of our course. And as usual, at the beginning of every week, I do put together a video that everybody can look at, which covers the main content of what we're going to be engaging in throughout the week of our course. One thing that I want to bring to everyone's attention is this. Coming up in 2 more weeks, your midterm project will be due. So keep in mind, there are some due dates coming up this month that we have to pay attention to in terms of what's going to be due. And as always, that will be within the calendar schedule here on Desire to Learn. You will see those due dates coming up for the midterm project, for the upcoming section of your final paper, as well as quizzes and any other important content that's going to be due. So let me just kind of bring everybody's attention. If you have any questions, first of all, regarding the midterm project, feel free to reach out to me. Send me an email. You can also give me a phone call to discuss the project itself. But that project is going to be coming up due in 2 more weeks. And if you happen to go to the content section of Desire to Learn, you'll see that the instructions right here are loaded up. I'm not going to open this up because I'm quite sure that everyone in the class has seen the instruction template and layout in terms of what's expected within the midterm project. Also, if you noticed this past week, I also included grading rubrics. Now, the first sections of the final paper have been graded. I did grade those the other night, and I did give feedback. And what I did through that feedback is that I attached a rubric to everyone so that they can view the rubric in terms of how I graded and why you came up with the score that you ended up with. Now, I need to really point something out here because one of the things that I noticed is that some students within the class did not submit a first section of the final paper. I want to remind you of some things. This is very important. The final paper itself is weighted more in terms of the grade than anything else that we do within the course. So, for example, your weekly discussion questions, along with the quizzes that I happen to give you, and also the midterm project. That final paper is weighted more, meaning that's going to contribute more percentage-wise towards your final grade compared to anything else within the course. And you do get graded by the sections. So very important. If you did not submit section 1 last week of the final paper, reach out to me as soon as possible so that we can discuss arrangements. Yes, I will still accept a late assignment. Would there be a slight deduction within points? Yes, it will be a slight deduction within points. So feel free to reach out to me by email to make arrangements if you have not submitted section 1 of the final paper. So with that being said, the midterm project is going to be due. That will be on October the 17th in 2 more weeks. Also, okay, looking ahead, like I said, October is going to be a very important month. Section 2 of your final paper is going to be due on October the 24th. So that's coming up in 3 more weeks. So regarding the time that you put in to study and get your work done for this course and also meet the requirements, just a reminder, okay, those 2 dates are going to really stand out for this month. That would be the midterm project due on October the 17th, and section 2 of your final paper will be due on October the 24th. So keep that in mind, everybody. And also what I'm going to do is I'll make announcements through the news feed. So I encourage everyone, check your emails on a regular basis if you're not already doing so. And also log into the course shell to look at the news feeds because I will be putting up posts within the news feeds as reminders. And also the course calendar itself on Desire to Learn is going to show those due dates as well. So let's get into Chapter 7. And we are talking about beverage control. We're talking about alcoholic beverages. So what's going to be due this week is the 3 discussion questions that I normally do come up with. You'll have 3 that's actually going to be due this week. And the due date for those will be on Saturday midnight going into Sunday morning. So answer the 3 discussion posts, your initial response, as we're doing on a weekly basis, and then give your substantive, that will be your substantive post. Give a response back to one of your peers by next Sunday midnight going into Monday morning for each discussion question. So the protocol of what we've been doing on a weekly basis, just make sure, class, that you're going to be following that. So our action items this week will be to do the 3 discussion question post as we go into beverage control. And then also another thing, look at the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint is just going to give you some guidelines. And I've been doing this every week. It just kind of gives you like bullet points of main terms and definitions that's to be covered throughout the chapter. So I expect everybody, of course, to read the text by all means. But this is kind of an overview and layout, the PowerPoint. So consider this to be a lecture without me actually talking, just looking at the PowerPoint slides as we cover the main parts concerning beverage control. So, for example, we talk about different brands of alcohol when they're served. Then we also talk about and we discuss the price methods. Like, for example, how do we come up with the sales price? How do we come up with the different cost methods when it comes to opening inventory, as well as the cost of beverages sold, the beverage cost percentage, along with the bar inventory differential. Then, of course, how do servers control their portions when they're serving customers? There's also some terms and definitions that we look into regarding that on different types of methods. So it could be a non-automated, and it can also be an automated method that they decide to use when it comes to portions per beverage. And then, of course, the law and ethics. Now, as hospitality management students, I know that you've heard that term ethics a lot. So ethics is good standard business practices compared to unethical, that would be business practices that are not good, that would go against policies and procedures pertaining to a company or organization. So look at the law and ethics. There's some bullet points that I put together regarding that. And then also different forms of theft, which really, I think a lot of bars happen to encounter this issue. I know that everybody's very familiar about this show that happens to come on Spike TV, I think it is. It's called Bar Rescue. It's been around, I think, for the last 8 or 9 years. But it happens to, and I forgot his name. I know his first name is John, but I forgot his last name. And what he does is he goes around the country and he rehabs bars. And I think that those different bars, if you ever looked at that TV show, some of the issues that they deal with are these different forms of theft that are discussed within the textbook. So improper measuring, inaccurate charging, meaning that they're charging not the accurate price per volume of the different type of Patron that they're probably serving their customers. Also giveaways, that means giving away free drinks. Playing around with inventory, that means employees may be stealing inventory, as well as playing around with the cash register. Not only are they probably stealing inventory when it comes to the actual Patron, but they're probably also stealing money and currency as well. So just think about these different terms and definitions as you look into the text readings as well as the PowerPoint and begin to reflect on these things. Okay, so once again, our action items are to complete the 3 discussion questions centered around Chapter 7. And then also, as a reminder, looking ahead, your midterm project will be due in 2 more weeks, on Sunday, October the 17th, and the second section of your final paper will be due on October the 24th. And I will be posting reminders within the news feeds. Once again, class, I want everybody to have a productive week and reach out to me by email or phone if you have any questions or concerns. Take care, and I will be talking to you soon.